week 4, college football, and we are here live on Pub Sports Radio for the Tailgate. I mean, guys, it feels like just yesterday we were waiting all summer for college football, for the NFL to get back. You blink your eyes and we're here. It's already week 4. The good news is, if you've been tuning in, you've been getting paid. And you know the drill here. We don't got any time to waste. So I'm not going to waste any. We're going to get right into it. And as you know, my 2 anchors that are here with me every Saturday to start the show are ready to go, ready to rock. So let's get them in here. The one, the only, Moose Money Bets, my dude. I guess I'm bringing him in. Shout out to Jose for pressing the start button. Moose!
Oh, hello, Cabby. Nice to see you on this fine morning. How are you doing?
Good. I know you like to glow. Yeah, there you go. I was about to say, I know you like to glow.
It's a special effect, Cabby. Let me be me.
Oh, okay. So that was intentional special effect. What's up, Moose? Yeah. How's it going this morning, man?
Dude, oh, man. It's week 4, like you said. Just enjoying the fact that I get to talk more college football with some of the best people on the fucking planet. Oh, sorry. Oh, I did it. Oh, god damn it, Cabby. I broke the streak.
2. We're at 1 minute and 58 seconds. So we almost made it 2 minutes. It's only 1 cuss word a minute if you're tuning into this show. So shout out to Moose.
All right. Well, I've been up all night and I've been ready for this morning. So I'm ready to go, Cab.
Hell yeah, man. Same. Like I said, my 2 anchors. So I got to get my other guy up here. He's been dominating college football already early this season. Good friend of mine. Also a really damn good capper. Let me get him up here. Wine Time Sports. Oh, fuck. It's just me. Sorry. Wine Time Sports. And Jose leaves me with this fucking mess, bro. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm going to tell Jose to stop coming.
All right. It's all good. Hey, what up, Daby Cab? What up, Moose Money? Good to be here with you guys. Week 4, man. It's been a blast doing this every week with you guys, man. Stoked to get it, man. This is one of my favorite cards. Probably my favorite card of the year so far. So I'm ready to get to work, man. 7 a.m. out here on the West Coast. Been up since 5 a.m. I'm ready to go. Let's go.
You say favorite card of the year, man. That's what I like to hear coming into this. I got some props. We're gonna have to roll today because the prop market in college football is absolutely glorious. I've just had so much success betting it early in this season. And I was sitting backstage with Moose just loading up. I made 4 bets. Like literally while we were backstage, I hit 4 props because I couldn't help it. But real quick, before we get this thing really rolling, let me hit this chat, man, because I see you guys are coming in early often. If you're listening to the show, get in the chat on YouTube, okay? Go to Pub Sports Radio on YouTube, get in the chat. Let us know what you're betting. Let us know if we're, helping you make money, if we're, making you homeless, whatever it is. Just put a comment in the chat, man. We got Justin rolling in early. Shout out to Stacks. Tom Leach, always supporting, always cashing right there. He said cheers for Stanford +9 wine time. Shout out to that. Getting that money right there, man. Chip Pilar, good to see you in here. Smoky Potts, that's my guy right there, man. King Goo, everybody. Melvin, Billy, I want to hit everyone before we get in here. Frank, good to see you. DJ, good to see you. NJ Striker, always showing love. Everybody, man, go ahead and start dropping those bets like my guy Stacks came in here. His Stacks POD. Florida, -6.5. He said he doesn't care how bad Florida looked at home. He believes that they're going to go get a win. And I like it.
Mississippi State's that bad.
Mississippi State is that bad. I agree with that. Shout out to Stacks right here.
Stacks.
Let's go.
And like you guys know, this thing gets hot and fast quick on this show. So I don't want to waste any more time because I've already got 2 people that are ready to come give you their best bets right now. So I want to get to it. This guy that we're coming to first, he's kicked off the show 2 out of the, what is this, the 4th show? He's kicked it off 3 times. Damn, time goes fast for us. Either way, he's been getting you paid. One of my favorite college football cappers. I say it every week when we bring him on. Just an absolute dude. Make sure you follow him right here. My guy, Gunz Picks.
Yeah, cashing tickets. We got San Jose State yesterday. I hope you cashed with that one too. +12. Hit the cha-ching. That's right. And we are ready for Saturday. I need a redemption because I went 0-3 on the show. Hand up. That was on me. But They call me the Ricky Henderson of the tailgate, and I'm going to get it back onto the plate. I'm going to get on base. We're going to get some runs, baby. Let's cash some tickets.
Hell yeah, Gunz. Hell yeah. Everybody in the chat real quick as we're rolling in. You know, this show starts an hour earlier than most of the shows that we do on Pub Sports Radio. So I need you guys to share it, hit the like button. If we hit 250 today, I will do a giveaway on the show. So let's get this rolling. We were right at 250 last week, so there's no reason why we shouldn't be, you know, at 250 or higher this week, because we should be growing. But with all that being said, let's start talking football, Gunz. What's the first game that I'm going to be looking to pull up for you right here?
Listen, I'm wearing the hat for a reason here. We're going to Morgantown, West Virginia, where they burn couches and they fuck their uncles. Whoops, I can't say that on the air. But let's talk about this game here. Kansas coming off to a rough start, 1-2 on the year, first 2 games, despite winning the net yardage battle in each one of their games, plus 156 net yard average on the year for the Jayhawks. Now you got West Virginia, same condition, 1-2 on the year, winning the net yardage battle in 2 out of their first 3 games, -4 net yards for the year. But you got to look at the box score when we dissect this Kansas team. Versus Illinois, they had a -3 turnover ratio in that game. They had 3 interceptions, a fumble, and a turnover on downs. In 7 out of their 11 drives in that game, they got into Illinois territory, only got 17 points. So just bad luck there. Versus UNLV, scored in their first 3 drives, but lost their momentum in the second half offensively. But the defense did step up in that game, had a solid second half. But it was a late touchdown, a lot of penalties, a lot of weird stuff that happened. And UNLV basically had a clock-killing drive. Didn't leave much room for Kansas to win that game. They lost that one. So this team is hungry for a win. Kansas would run first off and 6.4 yards per carry. They got Devin Neal leading the group. He has 7.4 yards per carry this season. Absolutely electric. He's been there for, I think, 12 years. He will never leave college football. Then you have West Virginia's rush defense. Did look solid. I'll give them that. Albany and Pitt. But they've been gashed on the run game. You look at that Penn State game in week 1. They gave up 5.3 yards per carry against them. I see a similar condition here with this Kansas team. Also, look at the matchup. When these 2 teams meet, 1-8 ATS, the home team is. And then Kansas is 4-1 ATS in the last 5 meetings versus West Virginia. Now, this is the first meeting that they've had. They didn't meet in 2023. They met in 2022. And in that condition, West Virginia lost the backyard brawl by a possession similar to this year. And guess who they had to play the next week? They had to play Kansas. And Kansas beat them outright, 55-42 as double-digit dogs. I'm seeing the same condition happen again. In this condition, you're looking at the backyard brawl. You can lose the same game twice, and I think it happens here. Give me Kansas on the money line, plus 100 as the play.
Kansas money line. Love it, man. I looked at this game. I didn't bet it, but I would probably also be on that Kansas side. I mean, especially you look at where the spread is, kind of telling. Wine time, anything on this one?
Yeah, I actually gave out West Virginia on Monday. I got a worse number than what it's at right now. Not going to lie, though, this is one of the plays that I'm kind of looking at today, and I was kind of scratching my head at it a little bit of why the line movement. See West Virginia at a -1 right now. Was at a -2.5 when I got in. I got in at the money line, -130. I still like West Virginia. I think they're going to be a different animal at home. They always seem to play very well at home. I know they didn't play well against Penn State at home. They like to run the ball. I know Kansas too. Gunz touched on it. Their last game, I mean, they were in the red zone. It seemed like every single drive, they just couldn't get it in. Jalen Daniels, very explosive at times, but sometimes he just makes the wrong decisions. Devin Neal can run the ball for sure. He's a really good athlete over there. They got a good wide receiver over there. I just think West Virginia at home has the advantage in this one. I'm not super confident on this one. I wasn't even going to give a breakdown on this one, honestly. But yeah, I'm on the West Virginia side.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small play for me too. It could go both ways. It's not my biggest play of the day, obviously, but I love the condition here, and I'm just kind of seeing history as it is. And I just think Kansas is in a position hungrier for a win than West Virginia. I don't know. I think Neil Brown just needs to get fired, and maybe this is the year.
Oof.
Moose.
I am also on West Virginia. And
oh my God, we got 3 of you guys on this and different sides. Hey, that's what you get here though at the tailgate. Like I said, we're not coming in here to blow smoke up each other's ass. Nobody wants to hear that.
No, I mean, look, the cap is the cap. I mean, and however you cap it, we are all individual cappers. We don't like subscribe to the same newsletter and be like, oh, we got to take Kansas today. We got to be on that money line. It's however you cap it. And if you want to see how I cap, you can go check out my Moose Dive because it's pretty much all there. All the horrible thoughts that I ever have end up on that document. But West Virginia has won 8 straight in the series and 9 of the last 11, but are 7-4, including covers in their last 3 games. The last time these two met in 2022, Kansas upset West Virginia. I'm sorry, they won 8 of the last 9. I apologize. But Kansas upset West Virginia's plus 13 dogs. West Virginia has been a very difficult place to play. I mean, Morgantown, that is one of the places. And if you're not aware of this, you can't fly directly to Morgantown. You have to fly into areas around Morgantown. And then there is a very windy bus trip up to the campus to be able to play games up there. Yeah, yep. It is on my bucket list. It is absolutely 100% on my bucket list.
And if you catch it at the wrong time, the fog is so thick there you can't see 2 feet in front of you. I've driven on that highway. It's crazy.
Yeah, Leopold has not been great as an away dog. He is 5-9 ATS at Kansas and 11-19 in one career in conference. Leopold is 9-18 straight up, 13-13 in one ATS. The interesting thing is the over is actually kind of hit in this game, but my cap really came down to the quarterbacks. How's Green going to play? How's Daniels going to play? And I thought Green played really well for about 3 quarters until he started trying to press it a little bit in the 4th quarter against Pitt. And Daniels, I mean, I would love to open up the floor to this, but I feel like we don't have enough time. But what is going on with Jalen Daniels? I mean, he was supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
Seriously.
And he has just flopped. You look at the passing grades for Jalen Daniels. The last 2 weeks against UNLV, he graded out as a 46.1 passer rating on Pro Football Focus. The week before that against Illinois, 44.9. The one thing that I kind of looked at, I go, okay, what's the deal breaker here? And it was the fact that Kansas struggled against the run on the road. That is going to be an issue here, especially in a place like West Virginia. So I ended up on West Virginia. The number has gone down, like Wine Time said. I would absolutely play the money line. But hey, line movement is a thing. It's something to consider. But I'm going to throw that a little to the side. I'm going to take West Virginia.
Let's keep this thing rocking. Our guy Tom Leach said, I've got the Moose driving. Great stuff, Moose. Highly recommend, guys. Shout out Tom Leach. And, again, not only do we not sell you anything, we bring you best bets right off the top with great cappers like Gunz, Moose. Earl is going to come in next. Wine Time. Not only do we not sell you anything, Moose is offering you direct access to how he caps. It's unfiltered information, and it's fucking wonderful. I don't know how else to say it. All you got to do is DM him, and he'll send you a link to it to get into the Moose Drive. So shout out to Moose. Any of you guys that haven't done it yet, you're missing out. I'm going to keep saying it, though. Let's drive this show up. I want 250 today. I need you guys in the chat to hit the like button. I need you to share it. Send it to your grandma, your mother, your drug dealer, the bookie you owe money to, the bookie that owes you money. I don't give a shit who it is. Send it to everyone. Bring them in here, and let's get paid today. What's our next game that we're going to roll to right here, Gunz?
Oh, I must be out of my mind on this one. We're going to the Big House, Michigan Stadium. It's going to be rocking in Ann Arbor, Michigan here at 3:30 p.m. East. USC coming into the Big House for the first time in the Big Ten versus a Michigan team that, unimpressive in their first 3 games, coming off a lackluster win against Arkansas State, 28-18, plus win 55 net yards for the game, but a -2 turnover ratio. The result, Davis Warren, go sit on the bench. We're putting in Alex Orji. We're changing the whole scheme of the offense. This guy was terrible. 6.2 yards per attempt passing, 2 touchdowns, 6 INTs on the year. The passing game, pocket passer, no more. We're scrapping that. We're putting in Alex Orji, a more mobile quarterback. He averages 5.7 yards per carry, and in the past 2 seasons. This should play well into what USC's defense's weakness is. And I know everybody's saying that this defense has improved, but statistically, I have not seen that, especially against the run. This team gave up 4.8 yards per carry last season on average. And then you see the past 2 games, granted, they're coming off a bye. LSU put 4.5 yards per carry on them, and that's not a running team. Utah State, 3.8 yards per carry against them. These are pass-oriented teams. These aren't running offenses. Michigan's just going to want to pound the rock today. You saw a sample size of that during the Arkansas State. 71% of their plays were running plays, and they put up 6.8 yards per carry. If they can run the ball, they will not stop running the ball. Also, like I said, USC's coming off a bye week. How have they done again off a bye? 1-4 ATS off a bye. They're going on the road playing at Michigan. You're getting Michigan at a dog. There isn't a stock that has, I mean, this is a buy now on Michigan. This is the reigning national champions. I know most of those guys went to the NFL that were part of that national championship team, but I think there's got to be adjustment made, and they're going back to the old school Michigan ways on the offensive side of the ball. Their defense is fine. They can make stops, but the offense has been the problem. If they're able to run the ball like I think they can today, they're going to control time of possession. That defense is going to be well rested, and they're going against the USC defense that if you got a good defense, you can beat this team. This is a tough spot for USC, in my opinion. So give me Michigan plus 4.5 and sprinkle on the money line too, plus 170.
Hell yeah. I didn't bet this one either. The line movement tells a lot, though. It's kind of one of those ones where I feel like it's either Michigan and under or USC and over, right? So I kind of like the under if you're going to lean Michigan. What about you guys? And hey, if you guys don't have a bet on it, we'll come back to this game and hit it. I want to get Earl because he's only got about 30 minutes or so probably. Wine time, did you have a bet on this one?
No, I got nothing. I could say I'm good on this game.
Okay, we chat, just so you guys know, we will come back and touch on it, but if there's no bets, we're going to keep it rolling until that.
I also like the go ahead, Moose.
I am on Michigan first half, team total over. One thing I do want to put in here. When they talked about the quarterback change, Shannon Moore specifically said, we have, what's the quote here? Hold on, I got it right here. We have had plays, packages, and schemes in place for a while with Orji. Now, he cited interceptions as the reason for the quarterback change, but I mean, I think a lot of us expected Orji to take over at some point, and this could have been the plan all along. It just happened quicker because the interceptions were just such an issue, and he had to make the change. So I do like the first half, and USC, Lincoln Riley has said we have used a clone, an Orji clone to kind of mimic what Orji is going to do. And if you're using a clone, it's not going to prepare you for what you're going to see in the real game. So I do like Michigan early, and I like them to score some points early. So first half over 9.5.
Also, you mentioned the total on this one, and I gave it out early in the week. I did a show on Tuesday, and this one I gave at 46.5. It's 44 now, so it's dropped off a little bit past some key numbers on this one. But a key stat on this one: Michigan 17-6-2 to the under since 2021 at home. This is an under team. Granted, you look at USC's offense, the perception is points. I think this is going to be a low scoring game. And if it is a low scoring game, this plays right to the Michigan on the plus.
Well, like I told everybody, we'll be right back to this game then. I was just going to bring him in, but Gunz has one more, and Gunz has got to get to his show, and Earl's got to get to his after. So we're going to do Gunz last one, but we'll be right back on this game because USC Michigan is one that Earl wants to talk about either. So that's a good thing right there. Chat coming in. Let us know if you guys bet this game. I want to hear it, want to see it. Steve G said Michigan's going to run 80% of the time. Jose Bouquet came in here, started the show, and then dropped a terrible bet. He said he's got OU +7 in the money line, so don't listen to that. Anyways, what, you like OU too, Moose? Terrible bets. Terrible. You guys are terrible.
I do too, actually.
Yeah, I know you would. I knew all of you would. I called them at the beginning of the week.
You get plus points at Norman? Give it to me all day long.
Yeah,
man, terrible. Okay, so tell me that's not the next game I'm going to.
No. We're going to Mormon country on this one. We're going to the altitude. We're going to Provo, Utah, where the number 13 Kansas State come in to go play BYU at Lavelle Edwards Stadium. Late night degenerate special, 10:30 p.m. East is when this game kicks off. Listen, BYU's 3-0 on the year, winning the yardage battle in each and every one of their games so far, plus 204 net yard average, plus 17-point differential. Granted, the competition's been a little bit lackluster. We got Southern Illinois. SMU's pretty impressive, and Wyoming. Kansas State coming off a nice primetime win. I was on Kansas State. That was a big one there. They dominated Arizona 31-7, plus 67 net yards, plus 1 turnover ratio in that game. On the season, plus 96 net yard average, plus 22-point differential, but that was probably their best competition. You could say Tulane is pretty good, but we saw what they did against Oklahoma. Maybe not as good as people think. Now, Kansas State, I've said it once, I've said it twice, I'll say it once again. They want to run the ball. Plus 7 yards per carry this season in their first 3 games. They're a run by committee with DJ Giddens, Avery Johnson, and Dylan Edwards. Those guys will just run. But you have a BYU defense so far this season. This is a good test for them. They hold opponents pretty well against the run. 3.4 yards per carry on the ground, giving up to opponents 131 passing yards per game. This is a pretty good defense, and they did that with a high-powered offense like SMU. So that's a good sample size right there. And then you got to look at BYU. They want to pass the ball. They're exact polar opposites of Kansas State. 289 passing yards per game this season, 8.9 yards per attempt. This team will want to air it out in the thin air. Then you have Kansas State. They've shown some weaknesses at stop in the past. You look at the numbers. They are allowing 342 passing yards to Tulane, 268 passing yards to Arizona. Their weakness is the passing game. And I love the situational play. This is a sandwich spot. Arizona coming off that primetime win. A highs of highs. That was a revenge game for them. Now they have to go against BYU, travel all the way to Provo, and guess who they have next week? Oklahoma State in a revenge game at home. They may be overlooking this team here. I love this BYU team. 5-1 ATS as a home dog last 3 seasons. 3-0 ATS as a home dog versus ranked opponents. And the Kansas State is 1-4 ATS last 2 seasons as an away favorite. This is a bad spot for the Wildcats. Give me BYU +7, and why not? Sprinkle a little bit on the money line as well. Give me BYU, the Cougs, all day long.
I love how you just kept going, even though I had the wrong Mormons up there. Anybody else notice that I had the wrong Mormons up there?
We all did. We
I feel like I didn't have to
Utah. You
grab
said
it for
Mormon. I
BYU.
was like, oh, Utah, we got this.
I did a little full Philly fake out on that one.
Yeah. So BYU
+7.
+7. Got your Guns. Beautiful, man. So Kansas on the money line, even money. Michigan +4, and then BYU +7. Am I right?
Yeah, +4. Yeah, it's +4 now, but I got it +4.5.
+4.5. I got you. I'll
Yep.
put it what it is because I know you give it out. Man, another wonderful start to the tailgate. Thanks to you, Guns. Just killing it, man. Killing it. Real quick, you want to plug where you're about to be at, where everybody can find you, man?
Yeah, right after this show, 11 a.m. East. Go when you done this show, go over to the Gunz Picks channel and watch Saturday mornings with Gunz Picks. We break down the top 25 slate. We give you our leans, we give you our plays, and a cup of coffee parlay. It is a pick-oriented show, and we want to talk to the chat. You give the plays, we'll give the opinions. 11 a.m. East on the Gunz Picks channel. Go check it out. And all my content at Gunz Picks on X. Name is right there.
Hell yeah, Guns. Much love, my dude. Can't wait to see you again soon so we can
Yes,
keep
sir.
cashing. Let's get paid today, my brother. Man, shout out Gunz Picks. Like he said, go check out his YouTube channel. These people that I bring on, I expect you guys in the chat that support us to support them also. That's how this works. So sign up for the Moose Drive. Go to Gunz channel, the whole deal, man. Let's all support each other. Let's make sure we can get paid. But we don't got time. We don't got time to stop because Wine Time's got to get his best bets soon. And we got another great capper in the wings ready to pop up here and give us his bets. I said it last week. I don't get to do enough with this guy, but this is 2 weeks in a row. So maybe we'll get to that point. Great capper right here. My dude, Earl Sports Bets. What's up, Earl?
What up, my
That's
guy?
good. That's good.
Man, I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you got to pop back in, dude. How you doing this Saturday?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Looking like a fun card
Dude,
today.
I love it today. I loaded up on some props.
I love this
I'm going to
card
hit them
today.
later, but God, the college prop market is so untapped, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't really follow props, so that's not really my forte. But yeah.
I didn't until I started watching like the way that the people aren't, in the NFL, people will cash their prop by like a half a yard. Like the shit is so on point. In college, I'm noticing some of these people are hitting it by 100, 200 yards, and they're getting it by halftime. I mean, they don't know where to place some of them. But anyways, Earl, I know you're kind of on a time crunch here. How are we going to get paid today? What's the first game you want to take us to?
Yeah, we'll start with the game in the big house there, Michigan and USC. I'm going to take the points as well with Michigan. I got them at 5 earlier in the week. I would play it down to a 4. I think at the very worst, they lose by a field goal in this game. I think, and I kind of see a little bit of a theme in my plays today on a bunch of them. It's either buy low or sell high spots. I think this is potentially a buy low spot on Michigan because I thought this game should be closer towards a pick 'em. And what we've seen recently with these two teams, I mean, we have USC coming off a 48-0 win against Utah State, and then they beat LSU week 1. Meanwhile, Michigan, the two times the time they played an actual legitimate team, they get crushed against Texas. I definitely don't think USC is anywhere near Texas, and I thought this line should be much closer. I got 5 earlier in the week. I like the Wolverines here in this spot.
You know, one thing this year that I wasn't sure about is how real Texas was. And it wasn't just the Michigan game. Like, I think Texas is the absolute real deal. And that's coming from an Aggie. So I don't know. Like, take that for what it's worth, right? That's coming from an Aggie. I think Texas is like, they're no joke this year. So I agree. USC is not Texas. I agree with that completely. I like it. So Michigan +5. Looks like Moose has the Michigan first half team total. Gunz has Michigan 4.5 or 4.5. And you got Michigan +5. So love for Michigan on the buy low spot here. I like it, man. What's the next one? I didn't ask you how many games.
Yeah, I have 3 games picked out.
Beautiful.
We'll go from a buy low to a sell high spot. And is there a higher spot to sell a team than after a win outright as a 28-point dog? Give me the Buffalo Bulls plus the 14 against NIU today. A little action here in this spot. I had this game circled after they beat Notre Dame because I was all over NIU in that game against Notre Dame. And then I saw they won outright in that game. I was definitely not expecting an outright win, but 28 points, I thought that was too many in that game. Now they're coming in off of that game, and they're ranked now after that win. And I don't know, are they still ranked? Because I know they didn't play last week. I don't
25.
know.
I believe they're 25.
Perfect. Love it even more. Give me all the points with Buffalo in this spot. This is the absolute sell high spot that you can have on NIU here.
It's exactly what I thought too. I'm on Buffalo in this spot. I didn't think anyone was going to talk about this game, but I'm on it. I got it earlier in the week at 14. I see it's down to a 13 at some spots right now, I believe. Yeah, I love it.
So you guys 13. I'm putting Buffalo 13 for both you guys.
Yeah, I got it earlier in the week at 14.
I got 14 as well, Cab.
Yeah, give me what you guys got because I know you guys give your bets out to people, so it's no big deal.
I got plus 14 earlier in the week at -120.
Beautiful. Man, I didn't have a graphic for that game, but I did look at that one. I saw Moose shaking his head too. You looked at that one also, Moose?
No, I kind of removed that as soon as I saw NIU was coming off of the bye week. Actually, I see that Al Shervick, I'm not sure if I said that correctly, but he pointed out the bye week can be an absolute kind of momentum resetter. And if you're flying high, sometimes that week of practice can be humbling, and you kind of get yourself back to like, oh, hey, we got a job to do. But I do like the idea of trying to attack a team that gets ranked in a conference that generally isn't ranked. We see it in basketball all the time. When a team that is in the non-Power 5 gets ranked, they get into a matchup against anybody in conference, and one just goes downhill. But I couldn't pull the trigger on it.
Gotcha. Well, I love it that both you guys are on that. That's cool, man. That's cool that we got that. So Buffalo right here.
Buffalo.
Taking Buffalo, man. Who was that running back for them a couple years ago? That dude made me so much money, man.
Oh, shit. What was his name?
Patterson or Peterson?
Yes. It was Patterson.
You guys know who I'm talking about?
Yes, I know who you're talking about. Yes, he ended up getting drafted, but then he was like supposed to be a special teams guy, and he just flamed out.
Hey, but at Buffalo, he made me a lot of money. That's all that matters to me right there. He cashed some tickets, man. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Rogue came in, gave the fire emojis for Earl. He's on Buffalo also. Shout out to you, Rogue, man. Everybody in the chat. Mug Dog, he said Moose is a true dog. Wait till you see him hit that boot later today. Anybody who hasn't seen the boot, make sure you tune in. I couldn't finish the boot. And when I watch him do it, it's impressive. So tune in later. You'll get to see the boot. What's the last one, Earl?
Yeah, the last one, we'll head to Norman, Oklahoma for that Tennessee.
Oh, don't do it to me, bro.
Even though to Daby Cab, this is a bad bet. Give me the points with Oklahoma. And if you like Tennessee at -7, you'll love them even more at -6.5. With everybody in the room. And here's the thing, though, that wasn't my cap for this game. When I looked at this one, let me get up what my projections were for this game. I had this game around a 3.5, 4 range. I thought 6.5, 7 was just way too many points in this game, especially at home with Oklahoma. We look at what Tennessee's done this year, and no doubt they've looked like one of the best teams in the nation. They've played Chattanooga, they played Kent State, and they played an NC State team that's taken a massive step down this year. It's not that easy. Like this is going to be the biggest test for Tennessee. They have the freshman quarterback with their first true road game. Now I get it. They played in Charlotte in that game against NC State. That was more of a 50-50 split. There was a lot of Tennessee in the crowd there. This is going to be the first true hostile environment he's going to play in. And that's going to be a huge test for him here. And if Tennessee comes out here and blows them out and wins with flying colors, I will tip my cap to them. And they're a legitimate team that should be taken very seriously this year. However, I'm going to challenge them to do that today. And I got the full touchdown with Oklahoma here in this spot. I'm on the Sooners.
All right. Moose, I already know where you're on to. So let's skip you. Wine time, did you have any action in this?
I do not. Apologies. I'm trying to find out if Cam Rising's going to be starting today for Utah.
I thought he was.
I mean, I guess he's now a game time decision, so they can't really necessarily rule him out or not. So, but now Utah's a +1. I got nothing on this game, though. This is going to be a good game. You talk about rank 6 against number 15. Oklahoma getting a lot of points at home. It's weird, you know. I'm off this game. I didn't cap this game too much because I knew this was pretty much what everyone was going to cap.
Gotcha. Well, and I am going to cap this. So for anybody in the chat who's like, oh, so we're only going to hear the Oklahoma side of it. No, I'll give you my Tennessee side also, but I'm going to let one more Oklahoma person go for a second. Moose, what do you got to say?
I mean, I think the addition of Nick Anderson back into the lineup is going to be absolutely huge. And you can talk all you want about Arnold.
I think the sky's blue.
I get it. Look, obviously, but the wide receiver group for Oklahoma they haven't been great. I mean, you look at just some of their PFF grades coming in. I mean, the first week against Temple, 53.1. The next week against Houston, 63.1. Last week against Tulane, 60.2. And the one common thing amongst all of them was the fact that it was Deion Burks that was basically back there trying to do everything on his own. And I kind of think that Nick Anderson is going to create a lot more opportunities, and he's going to be an asset and be able to create a vertical passing game. Tennessee does not have the best secondary. That was one of the weak points going into this year, is how is Tennessee going to do against those vertical passing games, against the legit
They have an
games?
untested secondary.
They have not been tested yet at all. I mean, if you want to say Grayson McCall is a passing quarterback, yeah, I'm going to show you all the tape of him running at Coastal Carolina in essentially the triple option.
I was going to say, I saw him live in Birmingham. He's not a throwing quarterback.
Yeah. So
I've never been high on him. I knew it was more Coastal Carolina, not him. And I think people got that mixed up.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm looking at, is the fact that you're now going to have a much more potent offense. You're going to have a running game that can get a little more stable because you're going to have a vertical passing game, a vertical passing element to it. I mean, Deion Burks has been legit. He has done his share of the heavy lifting, but you're adding in Nick Anderson now to the matchup and to the essentially the scheme and the schematics. I like Oklahoma here. I don't think that they should be a touchdown dog at home, where Lincoln Riley has been amazing at home. I mean, what's the record? He is 10-2 straight up at home and is yet to be a home dog. Like, this is the first time he's a home dog in Norman. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma. Maybe I'm taking the bait, but I think that the overreaction to Tennessee is a little much, and the reaction to Oklahoma not playing well against inferior opponents is also a little bit much. I agree with Earl that this should be more of a field goal, maybe 4 points. If you're going to give me a full touchdown, yeah, I'm going to take my chances.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to hit on this again in just a minute. Like I said, give my opinions. I respect what you guys have to say. I disagree, but I respect the hell out of it. I can't say I hope you win, because I don't. I hope you lose your bet because I need to win my bet. But I'll hit this in a minute, man. You guys in the chat, we got split in the chat too. We got people saying that, Sooners, they're going to show them how it's done. Axon Jackson, Jerry Davis said Oklahoma's not it. But it's been both. So it is split, a little bit more love. There we go. Tom Leach coming in. He's got Tennessee first half and full game. Shout out to you guys in the chat, man. And Earl, thank you for making time with us or for us right here, man. I love capping with you. Where can everybody find you? And like I said before, chat, listen and go subscribe. Go help everybody out. Let's beat the books together.
Oh, yeah. Earl Sports Bets on YouTube. I'll be live for the Earl Sports Bet show as soon as I get off of this and hop into there. So we'll be talking baseball, because baseball still exists on college football Saturdays. And that's when we make money on baseball, is when everybody cares about football. So I will be capping baseball over on ESP. Beautiful, man. Thanks, Earl. I'll see you soon, man.
Hell yeah, man. Great capper right there. So usually we keep people coming in. I want to get to Wine Time, because he is going to head out to go do Boss in the Sauce here in a little bit. So Wine Time, I want to get to yours real quick, though, while it's up. I do not think that Oklahoma's line is going to stand up to the pressure that Tennessee is going to bring on defense. I think that Tennessee is going to get home several times on Arnold. I think Arnold's going to be in a situation that he's not used to. I think Nico is going to handle the pressure just fine. I think Josh Heupel has had this game circled on his schedule. I think that somebody like Josh Heupel, when they really want to win something, is going to come out with some fucking beautiful offensive schemes. I think Tennessee wins this game by double digits. And I'm in the same boat as the people in the chat saying Tennessee minus 50. Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, right? But look, when Josh Heupel took the job at Tennessee, this program was dying. For a program that's like got so much history and the fans are so Tennessee was in the shit when Josh Heupel took over, okay? And I'm going to be honest with you, I did not think he was going to turn it around this fast. I wasn't buying in last year or the year before that. I knew that Tennessee, something was missing, right? Just something wasn't there. This year, I think they're the real deal. This year, I think Tennessee can compete with anyone. I think they can beat anyone. 6.5 is actually the number that I bet. I got minus 122, but you can now join me at 6.5. So we're split, but I like Tennessee a lot. And that's it. I wanted to hit it real quick. No, I don't flip sides, Jackson. I'm all over Tennessee. Fuck the Sooners, bro. Norman's about to be quiet. You hear this pen drop? That's what it's going to sound like in Norman here in just a little bit. It's about.
Yeah, I think that pen's going to end up somewhere else, huh?
What did you just say?
I think the pen's going to end up somewhere else, like up your ass. That's what I said.
That's not even funny. It's kind of.
I was just saying where it's going to go. It wasn't a statement of comedy. It was a statement of fact.
Kind of gross, Moose. Anyways, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We're pumping. We're over 160 now. It's getting there. Usually takes till about 10 o'clock to hit the 200 mark. Let's see if we can get it early, man. Pump this shit up. Hit the like button. Get them in there. I want to keep hitting you guys' bets in the chat, man. I need to start highlighting them. GM3 said he's on the minus 6.5 also. The biggest public play is the Vols. Yeah, I knew Tennessee would be the biggest public play. I said it on Monday. If you tune into Medicate Monday, I said Tennessee is going to be the highest bet team this week. And on Friday night and Saturday morning, the Sharps, and this isn't a shot at anybody, but this is what I said. The Sharps are going to come out on Oklahoma. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean they're wrong. But I knew what would happen in this game, and I knew how people would bet it. It's exactly what I expected. Let's see how it plays out. Wine time, where are we going for your first game, man? Let's keep this shit rolling. Dab Father, good to see you rolling in the chat.
Go to Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Okay. Wait, what? Oh, Stillwater. Gotcha.
Oklahoma State.
I got you. And boom.
Yeah, guys, this is a game that's very much we're going to know here if Cam Rising's going to play in probably the next couple hours. He's now a game time decision. He's going to be active for the game. We're not sure if he's going to play. Saw in his interview this week, he wasn't wearing anything on the finger, which is a good thing. He was practicing. Yeah, it wasn't practicing with the first team. I think it was more of giving Isaac Wilson some first team reps just in case something happens to Cam, not just in this game, but down the road. He needs to get more reps with the first team. Cam Rising's been in the system his whole life, it seems like. 6th, 7th year guy here. Told Moose he's got a doctor in this offense. He knows this offense like the back of his hand. This is his offense essentially. It's designed for him. There's a reason why they've been Pac-12 champions in the past multiple years. Kyle Whittingham knows what he's doing. He's the head coach when he's at the helm. All of his players believe in him. He believes in his players when he sends them out there. They're very deep on both sides of the ball. They're very physical on the offensive side of the football. Oklahoma State defensively on the defensive line, not so strong. They haven't generated a ton of pressure considering the competition they faced so far this year. I think Utah's going to be a big step up, not only there, but also on the defensive side of the ball. Oklahoma State, they got one of the best running backs in the nation, Ollie Gordon. Yes, he's kind of off to a slow start. You also got the 6-year guy in Bowman. What I think Utah's going to do, what they should do, they should load the box here and force Bowman to throw, because you're talking about a 6-year guy. Yeah, but when you talk about quarterback shredding Utah defenses, we're talking about Bo Nix, Michael Penix. Other than that, there's no one else that's really burned this Utah defense in the last couple of years, quarterback wise. And I think you're going to want to force him to throw, and you're going to trust your corners in coverage because these guys are talented and they've been there for a while. They're experienced. They've got a really good secondary over there. But this is ultimately, guys, going to come down to if Cam Rising plays. If Isaac Wilson plays, do I think that a true freshman is going to go into Stillwater and win? No. Do they have a chance? Sure. But this very much so Cam Rising, if he plays, I just don't see any circumstance how Utah doesn't win this game. I think they're the clear-cut better team in this one. I think they're the best team in the Big 12. So give me Utah. I got it earlier in the week. Write me down, Cab. You can get, I believe, a minus 105 now. I got a minus 130 earlier in the week on the Utah money line. That's what I gave out on Twitter, so I'm giving that out here.
Cool.
I think Utah has the advantage in this if Cam Rising plays. So give me Utah in that spot.
Hey, I want everybody to notice something here. There have been a couple times where I've given somebody, the number that they gave out and it was better, but it goes both ways. Wine Time just told you guys he bet minus 130 and you can get minus 105 now. And I wrote him down at minus 130. So it goes both ways. It is full transparency here at Pub Sports Radio. All we want to do is win. All we want to do is make money. And if you like that, consider getting a membership here and tuning into everything we do. You hit the join button in the description. We got a lot of members in the chat right now. Billy, JT, my guy right there. Good to see you, JT. Caleb, my dude right there. That's Silent Bob. Thank you guys for the members. You guys are the reason why we're able to do this for free and why we don't have to do our best bet if you want this type thing. It's because of you guys. So thank you. Let's keep this thing rolling. Let's keep it moving. After Wine Time finishes his, I will recap the action we've got so far because, as always, we've got a bunch. Moose, did you have anything that you wanted to add to this? I know we've touched on it a couple times, but after hearing Wine Time, did you want to add anything?
Let me just add a couple of things really quick. I'll just be really quick on this one. Can we appreciate just for a little bit that this is both coaches' 20th year at the same program?
That's crazy.
I mean, that's ridiculous. Look at the ATS numbers in conference for both coaches. Mike Gundy, 89-71-7 ATS in conference. Kyle Whittingham, 91-73-1 in conference. I mean, that is just hats off to you guys. The thing that I really looked at in this game is not necessarily is Rising playing, but is whoever's playing quarterback going to be able to challenge down the field? Neither quarterback. Wilson. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his name now? It's too early for me.
I see a lot of names.
Yes, Wilson. Sorry, Wilson. Is he going to be able to continue to throw downfield? Because Rising has not. And we talked about this earlier in the week, Wine Time. Rising's inability to throw vertically this year, whereas he kind of has done it in the past. Is Gundy really going to adopt a intermediate to short passing game that might be a little bit more up tempo? And conversely, is Oklahoma State going to start run blocking for Ollie Gordon, or are they just going to say you're so good you can do this all on your own? And I couldn't really answer either of those questions, so I stayed off of this. But I did kind of like the under here. It's gone up a bit, but I do like the under a bit here.
Dude, I like Utah in this spot too, even with the line movement. Just thinking about that, dude, Arkansas put up, 630 yards of offense against them?
Mainly in the first half, though. Yeah, mainly in the first half.
That's because they were muffing punts and turning the ball over and doing everything they possibly could to lose that game at the end. But yeah, okay. Anyways, we've talked this game down. We got Wine Time on Utah here. Moose, you didn't bet it, right?
No, leaned under, but I didn't get there.
Okay. We've talked this game down, so we'll move it on. Shout out to you guys in the chat, man. I saw DJ Big Boss, or I'm assuming it's DJ Big Boss. It says Who Bangin' Sports. Said, what up, though? That's my guy right there, Big Boss, man. Make sure you tune in to Who Bangin' Sports, Boss in the Sauce. I saw another Who Bangin' guy in the chat, my brother, Ixnizzle. Shout out to you, Ixnizzle. That's my dude right there. First person I met that I capped with in person, like doing this whole thing. First person I got to meet. First thing we did was fire up a big old joint together. Have a good time, man. Shout out to Ixnizzle. That's my guy. Rude Vol, ignore all the Oklahoma hate, bro. They don't know what they're talking about. We're going to get paid. It's okay, man. Truth Teller, everybody, man. Good to see y'all in the chat. Let's keep this thing rolling right here. Wine Time, where's the next one we're going to?
Let's go up to Iowa, Minnesota. Battle of the Midwest right here.
Hell yeah. If I have a graphic, I'm
excited for this one, fellas. Yeah, we just talked about two coaches that were in their 20th year. Talk about two more coaches that seem, Kirk's been with Iowa for forever. Minnesota, PJ Fleck's been there for a good amount of time too. Both these coaches kind of run the same kind of systems that they have been over the last couple of years. Both teams are very physical up front. Both teams have a lot of guys that are returning, a lot of experience on both sides of the football for both these teams. I mentioned they're deep. Both these teams too have two really good punters and two really good kickers, something to note in this game too. This is a game that's always very close. The last three matchups have been decided by 10 points in all three matchups. Both teams want to win this game. This is in Minnesota. It's a tough place to play. Don't get me wrong. We saw that crowd rocking against North Carolina in week one. Iowa, on the other hand, what do they like to do? They like to run the ball and they like to be physical. They've got that running back over there. I believe it's Caleb Johnson, over 100 yards in the first 3 games this season. He's running the ball at an extremely high level right now. I think this guy's going to be an NFL type back, honestly. He's got a good offensive line around him too. Do you want to see Iowa get a little more, that tight end Luke Lackley, a little more involved in this game? What's Minnesota most likely going to do? Like what I said in the last game, they're most likely going to load the box and force Cade to throw because we haven't really seen Cade's arm too much this year. He's coming off that big injury. We saw what he did a couple years at Michigan. You know, he was good there. It's a completely different offense last year and this year. They bring in NFL offensive analyst from the Green Bay Packers in Leicester. He coached college football a couple years before that. Pretty good offensive mind. They're still kind of running the same kind of offense over there. It's still going very much through Kirk. I feel like he's got the final say in everything here. But I think both these teams are going to want to play to their strength, and that's running the ball and burning that clock and most likely kicking field goals and kicking long punts in certain situations and pinning teams back in their own territory. That's what both these teams like to do. I think this total at 36.5 when it originally opened up was way too much. I got in at the 36. It's at a 35.5 right now. Still endorse the under big time in this one. I just think this is going to be the typical smash mouth Midwest type of game. It's going to be a lot of punts. There's going to be a lot of field goals, a lot of touchdowns. A lot of times when teams drive down the field and it takes 5 or 6 minutes and they're going to have to settle for a 25, 30-yard field goal, or they're going to go 3 and 4 out and they're going to pin the team in their own territory. That's what these teams do. Minnesota is going to want to – they're both going to want to run the football. So, yeah, give me the under in this one. I think this is not even – I think this is way too many points at 30, even at 35.5. I think this doesn't get to 34. So, give me the under.
Man, I tell you one thing, Wine Time, you make bets sometimes that I tell myself that I should make, and then I don't, and then you cash them, and it drives me fucking crazy. This is one of those bets right there. I like it, the under. I want to hit the chat, but before I do, Moose, you got anything on this?
Yeah, I am making somewhat of an emotional bet here. I am going to go back to the Hawkeyes, and I am going to avenge that horrific, ridiculous loss that happened last year because the refs don't know how to officiate a goddamn football game. I mean, it was last year. It was like, it felt like it was such an easy Iowa win. I mean, yes, Minnesota kept it close. And the thing that happened against Iowa State, and I think that's kind of the game that a lot of bettors are looking at, is for the first half of that game, Iowa looked like the absolutely better team. And then Iowa State started going vertical down the field, got a couple of really big chunk plays in the air. And then they realized that Cade McNamara can't throw a ball more than 8 yards. And that changed the entire dynamic of the game. I absolutely 100% agree with Wine Time that this is looking like a dead ass under. But at under a field goal, I do like the Hawkeyes here. And I do think the revenge spot is in the forefront of their mind. Another significant factor is Iowa has playoff aspirations, and Minnesota is still trying to kind of get their footing here and figure out the direction they're going. Ferentz has owned PJ Fleck, and PJ Fleck, as much as I like him as a coach and what he's done for the program, he does some weird ass things in the middle of a game. Like, he does things that you're just like, wait, hold on.
He's the one that had that program for his players to snitch on each other, right?
I don't know if that was him. I mean, I wish I could give you some information, but I'm talking more about the specific in-game strategy he'll use, where he'll use all 3 timeouts in the third quarter because he needs to make sure that they don't get a delay a game penalty. Those are the type of things that I'm like, he just does some things in game that make me scratch my head. And I feel more confident with Kirk Ferentz, Iowa. And I was high on Iowa going into the season. I was lower on Minnesota going into the season. And I'm not going to just change that willy-nilly just to be like, hey, the sharps are on Minnesota. The line's moving to Minnesota. I still like Iowa. I'm going to attach my emotions to last year's loss and feel even better when this year Iowa was able to pull out the victory.
Oh yeah, man. Right after I got done talking about how much I love my guy, Big Boston Regrew, Boston the Sauce. I mean, seriously, like, I'm like a fan. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, I'm a fan of those guys. Like, my favorite right there, Big Boston Regrew. And then there's a $5 donor that drops in from him. That's just straight love right there, man. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Big Regrew said Max Johnson is not playing JMW. So not playing James Madison. That's a huge loss. He's right. That's a huge loss. Mm-hmm. Thanks for bringing that in here. Shout out to my dude Caleb, also dropping that he's been a member for 6 months. I say it. I'll say it multiple times a show. The members are what keep this channel alive. The donations are what keep it alive. So thank you guys. If we're making you money, or if you enjoy hanging out with us for the information, consider getting a membership, consider dropping a dono. But with that being said, we got more money to make. We got to keep rolling. Wine Time, where are we looking after this?
Yeah, we're going to do one last game before I get out of here, guys. We're going to head over to Florida State and Cal. I'm not sure if you have a graphic for that one.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Oh, nice. Heck yeah. Yeah, guys, this is a game I looked at way earlier in the week. Jaden Ott, from everything I've been seeing, he is very much playing in this game. Probably the best running back in the Pac-12 last year. Him and Damian Martinez played at a super high level. I'm really a big fan of Jaden Ott. I think he's going to be a good NFL running back in the future. Kind of got off to a slow start to start the season, though. They also got another guy right behind him named Javian Thomas, a true sophomore. Two guys with different body types, but run the ball at a very high rate. Both these guys really good at the running back position. We saw Javian Thomas have a good game last game when Jaden Ott didn't play. I expect them to use both in this. I expect them to rotate both of these backs in this spot because both of these guys are really good. Take a lot of pressure off Mendoza, too. Another guy, big, taller, longer quarterback that likes to run with it, not afraid to take some hits. So I expect to see him running the ball a lot here in this spot. Look at Florida State on the other hand. I touched on this earlier in the week, man. They're throwing the ball at a very high rate. They're not running the ball. It just doesn't make sense to me why they haven't tried to get the run game going at all in the beginning of the games. I know they've kind of been behind in every single game, but there's only so much you can get out of DJU from what you've seen in the first 3 games in this offense. They've got some talented running backs over there that they should get them involved. But if they don't, man, I see a lot of the same thing that what we saw earlier in the weeks. We're going to see Florida State probably march down the field and get in the territory, and DJU throw a pick. We know how many interceptions Cal has this year, guys, in 3 games. 9 interceptions on the defensive side of the football. That's absolutely wild to me. At a Power 4 level with that many interceptions, I think they're going to pick them off a couple times. And if they don't pick them off, I think Florida State's going to have to settle for field goals. Cal, on the other hand, they're going to be running the ball a lot. They're going to be taking a lot of time off possession, which means they're going to be taking a lot of time off the clock, and they're going to try to keep Florida State's offense off the field. And for that reason, I'm on the under. I got it on the under 45. I'll give it out here at 44.5 because I still really like that number at 44.5. I definitely lean the Cal side. It's kind of a public dog going into Florida State. Everyone's very low on Florida State. This could be a game where Florida State gets them. That's why I'm not on the side in this one, but I just think this is going to go way under the total. I think this isn't going to hit 40. This is going to be a 20-17 type of game, however way you look at it from whichever side. So give me the under 44.5.
Dude, I feel it, and I feel with the chat. I like the under. I feel with the chat. Man, Bigger Goose said FSU, boomer bust today. Less than a field goal at home? Win a fucking game already.
Yeah, they could get them here. They could get them here at home, man. This is the time that Florida State, I haven't taken them once this year. I only faded them in the first 2 games, but I can't do it here. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. Just give me the total.
Well, we talk about, buy low and sell high, right? If there is such a fucking thing, this has to be it, right? Because I know nobody, went into this week thinking, oh, I can't wait to bet on Florida State. Like that was not a thought that anybody had, right? Speaking of Florida State, there's my guy, Dutch Boy Fresh, man. We'll get him up here soon, too. He said no jerseys will be on today and win. Okay. Hey, if you're going to give them out, I'll be interested, Dutch. Wine Time, man. I love doing this with you. I can't wait, to see where this leads going forward, because this has been a blast these first 4 weeks. And I think this is something that us right here, you guys in the chat, we got to keep this going. We got to grow this thing. We can turn it into something special. Wine Time. Thank you, man. You want to go ahead and plug where you're going to be and what you got going on?
Yeah, sir. Let's just keep putting our heads together and let's keep fucking cashing, man. We're almost a quarter way through the college football season already, man. Or a third, a fourth, whatever it is through. It's blast coming on here with you guys every week. Catch me at Boston Sauce after this, and I'm gonna be with Cab, and I think my guy Moose is gonna be there for the live streaming today too. We're gonna have a good cast of people there. So I'm stoked for the games today, guys. So I'll see you guys in about an hour. Good luck to everyone in your action.
Hell yeah, Wine Time. Let's get paid, my dude. Shout out to Wine Time right there. And we got to keep it rolling. And the next guy that we're about to get to, God damn, he's been on fire. And I'm going to introduce that in a second. But before I do, I want to roll through the bets so that anybody that's just new or showing up can hear it. The way this show works is I bring on cappers who I have immense respect for, and they give out their best bets for you guys in the chat. There's no fluff. There's no bullshit. It's all stuff that we've bet, and that's it. So thank you for everybody that's subscribing. Like my guy TJ right here, he said he subscribed. Thank you, TJ. You'll never get any bullshit here. We're not going to tell you, oh, you got to send us this if you want my best bet. We're just going to give it to you, tell you what we think, how we're getting paid. And that's what we do here, man. But without further ado, this next guy, as somebody who's not a parlay bettor myself, he has come on this show 3 weeks in a row, and given out his 2-unit parlay and cashed it every single time. Last week it was over plus 500. I don't remember exactly the number, but just fucking stupid what he's done to start the season. Always been in the chat, always supporting, helping us get paid, and now he's coming up on screen helping us get paid, and I absolutely love it. My dude right here, Kong's Clips. What's up, Kong?
Let's go, brother. Happy Saturday.
Hell yeah, man. I said it just a second ago, but dude, you have been absolutely on fire on this show, man. I really appreciate what you've been doing. The chat loves it. You're getting mad love coming in. NJ Striker, Justin, Dale, everybody, man. Everybody's showing love. Much deserved, man. What are we looking at today, Kong?
Another good Saturday. Try to keep piling units on. First game, we're going to go to UL Monroe at Texas.
Okay, and I think I have a graphic for that one, but if I don't, everybody knows we're looking at the Texas game here. Yeah, I don't got one for that one. Sorry. Let's just
all right. Texas gets UL Monroe where they can name their number. We're getting to a point where Arch Manning is showing what he is, a stud. Yes, he's playing against bad teams, but he's doing what he's supposed to. I know I'm not the only person thinking that Texas could go farther with Manning this season than Quinn Ewers. I'm hearing it everywhere. That being said, he's going to continue to interview for this starting spot. Texas by a landslide. I am a little worried that maybe they pull Arch Manning maybe after the second quarter. But still, I think he needs the reps. So if he stays in, I think they cover this number. I think they can get there with backups. Texas minus 44.5.
Man, I like the interview theory on this. It's like, yeah, maybe it's a big spread, but he's going out there trying to earn a starting job, right? Mm-hmm. So he's going to bring it. And when somebody like him brings it against competition like this, it gets ugly. And Texas is one of the only schools that's covered every week, right? They've been laying crazy numbers. They went into Michigan and had over 7. They've been laying 40-point spreads, and Texas is covered every week. So I like it. Moose, any thoughts on this one?
I have a question. Con, do you think that Texas is going to employ a game script, or do you think they have a pitch count planned for Manning?
Honestly, when I looked at this game earlier in the week, I thought Quinn Ewers was coming back to play. So I thought Manning would be coming out in the second half. I think it could be a pitch count game, but I also think that he needs the reps with the first team offense. So I see him playing at least into the second quarter, maybe play the third quarter.
Hell yeah.
It's hard to say.
If he plays into the third quarter, I think you get there.
Yeah, and that would be my point, is if Manning is playing deeper into the game, you're likely having an offense that is trying to, like, okay, does this work? Does this work? Does this work?
Absolutely.
And still not really utilizing their entire package, but being like, can Manning throw the out route to his to the weak side? Can he throw a bootleg out over to his left side? I mean, they're going to try to see, like, what can Manning do, what can Manning not do?
Yeah, like Con said, he's interviewing for the position. I like that. Yeah. Well, shit. Texas minus 44.5. I like it. What's the next one we're looking at, Kong? And while I pull this graphic up, if you can, when you came in, there's a boost, man. You're getting love. We're up to 196. We are very close to the 200 mark, guys. Keep pushing. Get us to that 200 mark. Hit the like button, share it, send it to everybody you know. Let's turn this into something special. We're already an hour in. Shit, it feels like we just started. We're an hour in.
What, really? Oh, shit. Oh.
Yeah. What's the next one, Kong? Where are we going after this one?
Tennessee at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Ski Profit, Kangu. I see you guys. Let's keep making money, man.
Skis out there in the chat. Oh, hell yeah. Shout out to my dude Ski right there. Yeah, hell yeah, man. That's my dude right there. Let me hear some. I'm excited to hear this from Kong because I've heard some stuff I don't like on this football game today. Let me hear some stuff I do like on this football game today, Kong.
All right. One distinct edge in this game. Tennessee defensive line against the Oklahoma offensive line. Oklahoma won't be able to run the ball, and Tennessee will get pressure on Jackson Arnold. I've been hearing all week that Tennessee hasn't played anybody and that this line is too big for Oklahoma. I have it Tennessee by at least 2 touchdowns. I've bet the minus 13.5. I got mine plus 180. I've been looking at the minus 20.5 all week. It's only plus 300, so I haven't pulled the jumper yet. Best bets. Tennessee first quarter minus 1.5, minus 104. Tennessee first half minus 4.5, plus 104. Full game minus 7.5, minus 104. Tennessee team total over 32.5, minus 115.
Hold on. What was the team total?
32.5, minus 115.
Minus 150. So I love it. See, that's what I wanted to hear, Moose. You've already given enough of an opinion on this, Moose. So,
Fuck off. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm just glad you're starting to get one.
I picked up what you're putting down. Yeah, I got
okay.
you. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah. And everybody else in the chat on Oklahoma, you can do the same as Moose. Go ahead and kick some rocks and take a hike over there. Am I missing something, man? Did somebody drop a $50 dono and I didn't see it? If I did,
oh yeah, what's a super sticker?
Where is it?
Dale
Holy
Lowenstein.
shit, Dale. Hey, Dale came in here to show you some love, Kong, and he dropped a $50 super sticker. Shout out to my dude Dale, man.
Shout out Dale Lowenstein. Appreciate it, brother.
That's mad love right there, my dude. Dale, you're the guy. Thank you, everybody in the chat, man. You guys make this shit. You make this shit so much fun on a Saturday. So much fun, Dale. You're the man. Everybody who's a member, we love you. Thank you. If you're not a member, we're still glad you're here. We're still glad you're here. Let us make you some money and then maybe consider getting a membership. How about that? Kong, where are we going next, man?
Miami at South Florida.
Miami at South Florida. Okay. Let me pull this bad boy up really quick. I should have this graphic. I think I'm not the best at finding them. Go ahead and start. If I don't have it, it's okay. So we're looking at Miami, South Florida here, guys.
Let's get it. This game makes me a little nervous. In-state rivals. USF kept it close with Alabama for 3 quarters. And the stale line. This line has been was at 16.5 all week with juice fluctuation. I seen it last night, moved to 17. But I still think this line is a little short. Miami is loaded with playmakers, and all I'm being asked to cover is 17. I'm laying it. I think it could be close in the first half, but Miami starts to pull away in the third. Best bet, Miami minus 16.5, minus 122.
You know what? This is one of the ones that I really have considered taking myself also is Miami here, because I think a lot of people are thinking about that Alabama game, and they're like, oh, well, if they kept it close against Alabama, they should keep it close here against Miami. And one thing that I cannot stress enough is that wins, losses, and games are not transitional in college football. Okay. I'm going to say that again. Wins, losses, and games are not transitional. Quantifying competition is a real thing, but transitional losses and wins are not. So just because Oklahoma struggled in this game does not mean Miami will. It's the same thing that when I was talking about A&M going against Florida, and I was using the Notre Dame game and Notre Dame's loss to Northern Illinois. That does not mean A&M would lose to Northern Illinois, right? It's not transitional. And this is a spot where I think Miami rolls. I think they continue rolling. I think you could look at Cam Ward's props. I think props are beautiful in college football. I think you could take some of his props. But there we go, man. Did you have a fourth one, or was it these 3 today?
Yeah, I have a fourth.
Hell yeah. What's the fourth one?
Charlotte at Indiana.
Definitely don't have a graphic for that. I'll look anyways, but I do not think that I do.
All right. 30 minutes north of my house, Charlotte is going to trot out a walk-on quarterback, Trexler Ivy, at Memorial Stadium in Bloomington. This is not good for Trexler Ivy. As I expect Indiana to stay hot, IU's defense has held their first 3 opponents to 2 touchdowns combined, and their offense is averaging 50 points per game. IU has seemed to find the right combination of new coach and quarterback as everything is now clicking. As long as IU can play a clean game and try to keep the self-inflicted penalties to a minimum, I think they can cover this number. Best bet, Indiana minus 28.5, minus 105.
Indiana. Love it, dude. Love it. So I'm going to recap Kong here real quick. So we got Texas, minus 44.5. We got Miami, minus 16.5. Then you got the big one, Tennessee. Loaded up on Tennessee. You took them on an alt line, minus 13.5 at plus 180. You got first quarter, minus 1.5, minus 104. First half, minus 4.5, minus 104. Full game, minus 7.5, minus 104. And then team total over 32.5 at minus 115. Right on that one, yep. Tennessee. And then last one that you brought in here, Indiana, minus 28.5 right there. Sounds like a lot of ways to get money, man. But without,
and then I have,
I know where you're going. And I think everybody in here is probably waiting to hear where we're going right here. Let's go ahead and hear that 2-unit parlay for the week.
2-unit parlay of the week. We're up 33 units in 3 weeks on this play. I've done this every year. I've bet college football and I've had massive success with it. So here we go. We got Miami minus 16.5, Texas minus 44.5, and Tennessee minus 6.5 plus 531. The goal this season is to be over 100 units again. We're more than halfway there through 3 weeks, so we got to keep pushing. 2-unit parlay plus 531.
Beautiful, man. And I think I'm gonna have to, even if it's a smaller bet, I got to put something on it, because if I'm sitting here after 4 weeks in a row of somebody cashing a plus 500 plus parlay in my show that I'm doing and I'm not betting it, that's just bad etiquette. That's improper gambling right there. So win or lose, I'm gonna be riding with it today. I love it, Kong. Hey, you've been killing it. Enough said on that. You've been just absolutely destroying it. The chat loves it. I love it. We love it. You got any last words for everyone today before we keep this thing rolling?
Yeah, shout out to the chat, man. You guys are awesome coming up in the chat. You guys are sharp. Love this chat. Love this channel. Shout out to Jeff Slaughter. Shout out to you, Daby. And let's go get some money.
Kong, let's go, man. Let's go, man. One more time. Shout out to my guy, Kong, right there, man. Absolute monster. They say, I guess with him, they say monsters do exist, right? I saw a GIF he posted. That's right. Monsters do exist. Shout out to my guy, Kong, man. You guys in the chat, man. I just saw another one. I want to make sure I hit it here. Our guy Michael came through, dropped another dono, a 1999 super sticker, man. Michael, shout out to you, man. You guys are bringing the energy today to the tailgate. I'm talking big time, big dick energy. We are getting paid today, man. Shout out to you, Michael. We appreciate you. We appreciate you guys in the chat. And we're not done yet. You know, we're an hour and 8 minutes in, but we're just getting started. We got to get to some of Moose's best bets. I think there's 1 or 2 other cappers that are going to pop in here throughout the show. If they don't make it, that's okay, because I got a lot of props that I bet that I want to give you guys and some sides. So let's keep this bad boy rolling, baby. 196 people, 195 people right now. Let's pump it up over 200. Keep dropping your best bets in the chat so I can highlight them. Moose, let's take a stroll down Moose Land and let's figure out what you're betting today. What's a game that you want to look at right now that we hadn't talked about?
Let's look at Rutgers and Virginia Tech.
Okay.
All right. So Rutgers is currently on a 6-0 straight up and ATS run in non-conference home games since 2021, with an average margin of victory of 32 points per game versus FBS teams. That's not FCS, who gives a shit. That's FBS teams. Greg Schiano as a road dog is 33-21-2 ATS career. In non-conference, he's 41-23-1. Coming off a bye, he's 18-14 straight up. Virginia Tech, on the other hand, 0-5 straight up in ATS when facing non-conference Power 5 teams, As a home favorite, Brent Pry is 4-4 ATS and 3-6 ATS in non-conference games. Rutgers has quite a few injuries. 2 starting linebackers could be out. One is already ruled out, and the other one is listed as questionable. In college injury reports, you never know exactly what's going to be happening. But even if they're out too, I still like what I'm looking at here. Most of the other injuries are depth pieces on defense. Rutgers has not really been tested yet, and coming off a bye, look to be in much better position than Virginia Tech, who really seemed to be finding its footing offensively last week. And for the first time this year, Drones looked like the quarterback that we thought we would see from last year. Both of these teams have very good running games, but Rutgers has shown the ability to be better than Virginia Tech on rush defense. They have tackled better and been more efficient against the run, yes, versus weaker opponents, but Virginia Tech wasn't exactly, fantastic in their running outputs the weeks before last week. I chalked this game up as a loss for Rutgers before the season even started for the poor play of the defense and the offense being underwhelming. But I'm backtracking. If Drones has figured it out, awesome. Virginia Tech is definitely the better team, but Rutgers did well last year against the run and returned most of their players and should be better this year. I think these teams are very even, and if I'm going to get better than a field goal on 2 teams that I think are even, I'll take the points for whomever gets them, and the team I'd rather have get them, got them. I'll be on Rutgers plus 3.5, minus 115, and a money line sprinkle at plus 140.
Man, I tell you what, I know this is not good gambling etiquette, but after that, what was it, the 13.5 point spread week 1, Virginia Tech, where they lost that game outright?
Yeah, to Vanderbilt, yeah.
Dude, they made me look like a clown. I'm sitting here talking, they got the program for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got the supporters, they got the funding. They don't got your fuck Virginia Tech, man. Only thing they got is that that welcome to Enter Sandman that they do. That's the only thing they got.
Which is
going
cool.
for them.
Which is super cool.
Very cool, but it's not a reason to bet on them. Virginia Tech can suck it, man. I like it. Rutgers. So Moose on Rutgers plus 3.5, man. The chat, man. You guys in the chat got me rolling sometimes, man. I got you, Smoky Pots. We'll get there. Moose, I know you only got to do one, but we got somebody backstage who's been bringing us some fire heat. And I think that the most thing that everybody respects is that he still keeps showing love. He keeps showing love regardless of how many times his team loses. He'll put the uniform on. He'll back them. He'll show that he believes. But most importantly, both of those first 2 times they lost, he faded them. So he knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to gambling. My co-host on the best goddamn show on the planet on Mondays, The Sesh, Dutch Boy Fresh. What up, Dutch?
Yeah, man. How we doing, fellas?
What's up,
dude?
Dutch?
We good?
Coming into Saturdays, I'm always wiped out. But then as soon as Saturday morning hits and this show starts, I'm ready to go, man. I am ready to go.
Hell yeah. It's a beautiful thing. Saturday mornings, I'm a little slow, but I grabbed the jersey, grabbed the motherfucking earpod, rolled the joint, came down to the pool, man. I didn't even feel like even getting in this shit. We vibing out. Can't wake up the whole goddamn condo on the tailgate, though. So, we come down here and wake up everybody at building fucking 38. Fuck them, right?
Bro, every time you get on this show, I wait until the live stream to spark one up, and I'm like, fuck, pass me that thing, man. Pass me that thing. What you got in that plane?
Got some candy runs. The flavor, strong. Whew, it's good, man. I'm actually really happy with it. I got a zip of it. And sometimes I like to switch it up a little, but I was like, I'm happy I got the whole zipper of this one. It's some fire, man. Shout out to our guy Cons Clips coming on, giving the goods. And got kind of a bigger card today. Well, not really. I mean, I haven't really had much action over so far this week. I like that Miami look though. We'll stay there. We'll kind of go there just real quickly. I am on Miami minus 17. I mean, they say South Florida played them good. I mean, South Florida played Bama. They 42-16. I mean, I guess, is that good? I don't know. I mean, I guess, it was somewhat close through the first half. Bama's on cruise control. To me, there's levels to this shit. And I'm not saying Miami's on another level than Alabama, but that offensive side of the ball is on another level than what Alabama can. I can tell you right now, Cam Ward is better than Mr. Jalen Monroe, wherever the fuck boy's name is over there. I don't really think he's that good. I know there are tons of talent over there, but if you're going to tell me Bama's going to throw 42 on South Florida, Well, I think Miami might fuck around and drop 60 on them. This game shouldn't be close. In-state rivalry, as our boy Kong said, but they don't give a fuck about South Florida, man. This is an hour-and-a-half trip down the turnpike, and they're going to turn right back around. I think Cam Ward's on the bench in the fourth quarter because they're already up 35. This offense is elite, and they do have a very, very good defense as well. And Miami is still out to prove, not only to the state of Florida, but to every one of us, that the U is back. You know, the U is back. Oh, they went in and smashed Florida. Everybody's beating Florida. You know, I mean, Florida's down now, so how good of a win is that? How good of a win is it really, right? Against the Gators. So they're going to come in, they're going to show the state of Florida and everybody else that the U is back, and they'll win this game, I think, by easily 4 touchdowns. I think the South Florida crowd will be 60% Miami. So it's pretty much going to be a home game for the Hurricanes. The line, I think, should be bigger, so I understand a little bit of concern there, but I like the 17 an awful lot here with the Hurricanes.
Hell yeah, man. I do. That's one that I might have to get to the window on. Whenever Kong broke it down, I said that. I might have to get to the window there. Shout out to our guy, Razor Sharp Picks in the chat, man. Good to see you out here, Razor. All you guys, man. Tom Leach said he's got Rutgers +3. He said he loves it, man. Getting a lot of love in the chat, Dutch. Some people are asking if you're on Florida State. We'll get there. We'll get there. He will get there.
Come on, man. What are we doing this shit for fun? Shit. We doing this shit for fun? Yeah, give me a play. Give me a play bet, goddammit. I'll bet your motherfucking money on the Seminoles. Shit. I'm just trying to walk out of the house in a jersey and not get smirked at, you know? You know, like, motherfucker, what you looking at? Oh, my jersey? Okay. You know, hey, this the Anquan Bolden, goddammit. You don't respect Anquan Bolden, you don't even deserve to be on the goddamn stream. But yeah, man, not betting Florida State. We don't gotta wait for it. I will be like a fucking cheerleader. I will be screaming at Norvell, and I will be wondering why the fuck is DJU still on the goddamn field. Let's go. Hope was Wine Time on the under in that game?
Yes, he was on the under. Yes, he was on the under there.
They both should run the ball. Florida State, I don't know. Maybe they'll decide to run the ball. They have 4 running backs. I mean, they got fucking
right.
God, it's so disgusting. Yeah.
I didn't have Wine Time on that game, Moose.
Yeah,
Florida State and Cal, he was on the under.
Yeah, Florida State Cal. Yeah, I got him on Florida State Cal. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
is that the one you're going to, or which one you want to go
to? No, I
next?
was just stating that I'm going to be rooting for Wine Time to hit his under, and I'm going to be rooting for Florida State to look somewhat respect. I mean, we're -2 against Cal. What the fuck was the line 3? What was the line 3 weeks ago? Probably 10, 12. I mean,
dude, honestly, like before the season, it should have been at least 12.
14, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna say it's like a 10-point move easily from Preston probably knows, somebody in the chat knows, but this line is probably easily 10 points less than it was 3 weeks ago. All right, next
DJ Pooh. Where are we going next?
Pooh, man, I'm fucking nasty. Where we going next? Right when I stepped in this pool, right when I put my feet in this pool, there was a fucking, I wanted it to stay by me, but it dipped, and I was going to put it on, and it's a sign. It's a motherfucking sign. I don't even know if I heard Cons Clips give it out as one of his best picks, but we're going Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, baby. We're going motherfucking Yellow Jackets, man. We're going Haynes King. We're going, a little running back in the backfield. I think Haynes has a big day. But most importantly, I think this D-line shows up. Did not show up against Syracuse. Shout out to our guy Wine Time. Shout out to, I believe, Moose. Everyone liked Syracuse a lot in that game. I was on the wrong side of that. Syracuse looked what I thought they would last night a little bit, to be quite honest with you, against Stanford. But back to this game, I honestly think that Georgia Tech, I think they have the better coach. I don't think Louisville has played absolutely nobody. I can't even name the 2. I didn't even know they had schools playing football who they played so far. And yes, they've looked very good doing it. Broke this team down in the preseason, the ACC, as I broke it down. Louisville didn't really stand out to me. Pretty much mediocre all the way around. Now, is this quarterback the real deal? We'll see. Obviously, Louisville always gets talent, can put points on the board. I think at the end of the day, Georgia Tech is live to win this game, so you're going to give me 10. They got to get that defensive line a little bit more like we've seen week 1 and 2, more like against Florida State. They got a lot of push on that D-line. Didn't get any against Syracuse. They were able to give up whatever they want. And please, somebody in the secondary, defend somebody. I mean, it was McCord was literally fucking Dan Marino back there for Syracuse. So if Syracuse can lock in a little bit, get a little bit of pressure on not Syracuse, but if Tech can lock in a little bit and get some pressure on this quarterback here show for Louisville, I honestly think that the run game for Georgia Tech will keep them in this game. And should be alive to win the game, to be quite honest with you. I'm taking this bet thinking that Georgia Tech will be in the game in the fourth quarter to win the game. So give me the 10. I think it was 10.5. I got the 10 because I was late waited. But I think it's one of the better games on the board, to be quite honest with you.
I think this is a chance for Georgia Tech to show who they really are too here in this game, because that big win week 1 turned out not to be as big as some of us thought it was at the beginning against Florida State, right? So this is a good chance for them to show who they really are and how this offense really is moving. Moose, did you bet this one? We hadn't talked about it.
I did. I took the first half over 28.5. I was looking at Georgia Tech team total over in the first half, but I just kind of felt like Georgia Tech hasn't looked exactly great on defense. And you know what they have sucked at? They've sucked at tackling, and that's kind of important in football, is to tackle the guy with the ball. And they have not done that well. So I do think that Louisville, even though they played some shitty-ass defenses, they were supposed to be a really good offense, and I expect them to be a really good offense. I think Georgia Tech has been a better offense than we may have expected. And Louisville's defense has shown some weaknesses in the secondary. If Haynes King can kind of go a little bit more vertical like he did against FSU, I like that first half over. And the second half, they have generally clamped down. Both teams in the second half generally clamped down. So if I'm going to attack the total, I'm tackling it first half, and that's what I did. I tackled it in the first half, unlike Georgia Tech.
There you go.
I like
what was the number? 20 what?
It was 28.5.
28.5 first half over.
Minus 110.
Minus 110. Gotcha. We got Dutch on Georgia Tech. What'd you get? Plus 10.5 Dutch or plus 10?
I got the 10.
Gotcha.
What did Collins give out Louisville? I seen him in the chat. It's hard for me to see on my phone what he said.
He did not give out Louisville, but he did say don't do it, Dutch.
Yeah,
Louisville,
don't take Georgia Tech.
Hey,
no.
I mean, I got a worse number because I think I even told, I don't change my picks over people, but when people are killing, it's like I don't really want to go up against some motherfuckers, So, but yeah, Georgia Tech, man, I think Haynes King's gotta open the field up. You're right about that, Moose. He's a talented kid. They got talented wide receivers. Can he make those throws?
Yep.
Can he make those throws? I think he's good.
Jose said, "Holy shit, Dutch in that jersey. Good God."
You know what I'm saying? This is coming from somebody who wears a fucking Zach Wilson Jet jersey. Get the fuck out of here, man. All right.
Right. Hey, we hit that 200 or 199. 199. We are right there on the borderline of the 200. Keep pumping that shit, man. Hit that like
button.
Shit,
I'll get us there.
Go to PSR. Run out retweet the live stream. You know how to do it. You know the real ones how to do it, man. Let's get to this bag. Shout out to Daryl dropping the $50 dono too. Those are Saturday vibes. We need to start it nice and early. Let's get it up. Let's run it up. I got one more play, and then I'll give you two little juicers that I'm on. I did tweet out my plays right before this as well at Dutch Boy Fresh. Check it out. Vandy plus 21. Gave it out on the sesh. 20.5 now. It's easy to me, man. I think Pavia is a quarterback that you can bet on in college football. I mean, we watched it against Virginia Tech. Maybe some not, obviously some not as high on Virginia Tech. Still a very, very talented team that brought back almost every fucking player that played last year. When you do that, I mean, there's a reason why people were so high on the Hokies. Handle business week 2, and then I think they had a look ahead last week. I believe it was Georgia Southern. They got Vanderbilt loses outright too. But if you watch Vandy, they got guys. They got some transfers coming in. They got a guy in the secondary, and I'm drawing a fucking blank on his name. He's an absolute stud. You'll see him all over the fucking field today. And I'm basing this strictly off of my play last week with BC. I mean, I think Missouri is very, very good. I still think Missouri isn't as good as people think they are, and I still think that their defense, when I watch them, they don't wow me. I still feel like they can get pushed around a little bit. And Pavia is a guy who makes plays where everyone rallies around them. So I think they could be live to win the game. You give me 20. Do I think they win the game? No, but I think anything more than 14 is really good because they play physical. When I watch Vanderbilt, and I've watched them play the entire game against Virginia Tech, they got dudes. They got some guys that can play football. They got a running back. But at the end of the day, when you have a quarterback that can make the throws, can make the runs when needed in Pavia, it brings up the whole team. And in college football, these guys win. And he's a winner to me, man. I think they overlooked it last week, and we're looking for Missouri. And it's a big game, and I think this is the best game on the board by a long shot at plus 20 with Vanderbilt. I think they're in this game in the fourth quarter.
Vanderbilt plus 20. I like it. You cashed on
Vanderbilt. I got plus 20.5.
Plus 20.5. Yeah. Where am I writing your bets down at? Right here. Oh, here they are.
Yeah, I just think Pavia is one of those guys. His story's crazy. He came over. He's got his coach from New Mexico State. So he brings him over. He's a former military dude. Like, I mean, if you watch the story, you watch the guy. It's hard not to root for him, and that's somebody that I want to put my money on, especially at an underdog when you're getting fucking 3 touchdowns. You know what I mean?
Right. Man,
Anything
shout
on
out
this
Ron
one, Moosey?
Lofton. What you say?
Moose, you got action on this one? Shout out to Ronnie.
No, I didn't. I got somebody behind me telling me to remember what happened last week against Georgia State and how Pavia looked in that game. Yeah, I mean, I do. I like Pavia. I absolutely 100% agree with you, Dutch. Like, the story is phenomenal. Basically being unrecruited, coming out of high school, having to go to a JC and then walking on in New Mexico State and making the team, starting, and now he's at Vanderbilt. The issue that I have with Vanderbilt is that defense has started to look, they've looked holier than the Pope on Sunday. And I'm not sure that they're going to just lock it down against Missouri here, which is potentially a very good offense. But to your point, Missouri has not looked like the team that a lot of people thought they were. Missouri is one of the most hyped teams coming into the year. I mean, there were a lot of people that are saying, hey, that is a national championship contender. And now you look at them, it's like they have barely beaten some teams that you think that they should just walk all over. But I really couldn't get much of a look at it because Pavia kind of looked awful last week. I mean, just being real, he looked awful. So I couldn't back it.
Which makes me like it even more. Watching that kid having a horrible game, come back, against that. Remember, he went into Auburn and beat Auburn last year for New Mexico State. This kid did that. And
it wasn't even really close.
Auburn, they're down. Yes, they're down, but it's still Auburn, and you're fucking Mexico State. New Mexico State. So I agree with you though. That defense, that secondary, they could give up a lot of points. I just don't. I think Pavia will keep them. We'll get his as well. And they have long drives. They'll be going for it on 4th and 2. They do these taking time out the clock when kind of keeping the ball out of Missouri's hands as well. Hopefully will be in my favor.
And interesting stat is Pavia last year was in the top 10 for 3rd down conversions for a quarterback. Like, he was the one converting a lot of those 3rd downs, and he was in the top 10. And if you remember last year, and you said, hell, you remember versus Virginia Tech. I mean, Jesus, like, how many 3rd downs did they get to? And Pavia just picked it up by running the ball or just doing a little dump off.
Yeah, they can't stop it. It's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. And they're going for it on 4th down no matter what, too. 4th and a yard. It's Pavia. The ball's in his hands. He makes the right decisions. I like his decision making. That's exactly it. He, you get 4 downs with that dude, and they're running just smart football. I mean, he will make plays because he's going to try to do too much at times, like all college players, in my opinion, especially quarterback. So he'll have you a head scratcher at times, but majority of the time he's making the right play.
Moose is finishing a Guinness at fucking 8.
I didn't go to bed. All right,
He didn't go to bed.
Dude, I fucked up earlier. I said I was talking about Oklahoma, and I was saying, like, oh, Lincoln Riley, and I looked at the chat. I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? And I used the wrong. Oh yeah, shit. I said Lincoln Riley instead of fucking Venables. I haven't slept. I haven't fucking slept, dog. I haven't slept.
No, I swear to God, bro. I tune in. I'm like, I just turn it on, and you're talking. I'm like, wait, Lincoln Riley? What the fuck? Oklahoma? What the fuck? Like, what the? I was like,
I didn't even catch it.
I was like,
I did it twice, apparently. I doubled down.
And then you doubled down on it. You're like, yeah, so Lincoln Riley's so good at home. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? And I'm like, wait, no, too bad he's in USC.
Well, we were just talking about USC, so I still, I was looking at the Moose Dive, and I still had Lincoln Riley up there, and I just read it. So, you want me to talk more? Is that the signal? Talk more? Talk a lot more?
No, that does not mean talk more. That means it's already 10:30. The other show's supposed to start in 15 minutes, and we haven't even done my best bets, your best bets, the what is it? Moose droppings. That means let's roll. Dutch,
right,
man.
Look, check it out. I like Florida first quarter. I think they get in and get out there real quick. Bounce back spot. Florida's looked really bad. They're playing a really shitty opponent. I think Mississippi State just lost to fucking Toledo. I think Florida shines. It's a minus half a point. I jumped on that, and I also like UW first half minus 6.5. Losing the in-state rivalry to Washington State last week. Pretty embarrassingly, people bet them up. People loved it. Obviously, everyone here on the show was correct on the Cougar side. But I think UW's got a quarterback. They got a team. They got a fan base that's really high on them. And UW, they're back home. I think they route these boys. So give me the 6.5 first half. UW Huskies, good money, man.
Hell yeah.
But so a couple extra little things. We're 5-5 on the show. We're gonna have a really good day today. I have a really
Yeah,
good
today's the
today,
day, man. Today's the day. So you got Florida first quarter, minus a
minus
half.
a hooker. Yeah.
Yeah. Washington first half, minus 6.5. Miami full game ATS. Georgia Tech, you got the plus 10.5 full game. Vandy, you got plus 20.5. It's plus 18 now, but we're giving out the lines that were tweeted out for everyone. So
I
you
got the
five
10.
bets
I
there to
got
get
the
everyone
10 on
paid.
Tech. Did Vandy's down to 18?
Yeah, down to 18 now.
Ooh, that's CLV. You know, you should be happy about it, but can you be? I don't even know in these days.
Bro,
Oh
anymore,
shit.
I don't even give a shit about CLV can lick my nuts, bro.
I mean, you gotta be happy that you got 21 in your pocket
Yeah.
and it's 18. But at the end of the day, it's like, I swear, the feeling I get. But you only remember the losses, right? So you get that, oh fuck, last, but you don't remember the wins. You only remember the losses. But let me get up out of here, Cab. Appreciate you guys. Moose, as always. Wine time. The whole crew, Earl Bets. They all did their thing. Everyone in the chat, you know what it is, man. Run the fucking likes up. Vibe the fuck out. And maybe we'll touch down on some live streams a little bit later. You guys do this fucking live stream so goddamn early. But hey, yo, check it out.
Bro.
Check it out.
All
Right
right,
here at
man.
Plus Sports
Love it.
Rodeo. Appreciate you, Cap. Y'all stay fresh.
Hell yeah, Dutch. Man, shout out to my co-host right there, Dutch Boy Fresh. One of the best doing it. As far as capping goes, he's kind of like me. He might not have the highest volume, but when he does bet, he knows what he's betting and he makes money. So shout out to my dude, Dutch Boy Fresh right there, man. We got over 200 now, Moose. We're right here at the end. We gotta wrap it up. Look, I'm gonna quick shoot mine because I want to give you the end of the show. I like to give it to you. So I'm gonna quick shoot mine for everybody really quick. Just my sides and my props. Somebody in the chat asked if I'm looking at the Arkansas game. I'm all over Arkansas. I love Arkansas in this game. I love what Petrino's doing with this offense. I specifically took Arkansas plus 2.5 in the first half. It's probably plus 1.5 now. I still like it. Okay. I took Arkansas first half. I still don't trust them to complete a full football game as we saw against Oklahoma State. We've seen Arkansas, struggle to finish games for a while. Why can I not find a graphic for this? Do I not have an Arkansas graphic? I thought I put it up earlier. Okay, no graphic for this one. Whatever. I'm on Arkansas first half. And I also took 2 props in this game. Okay. I took Jaquindon Jackson over 82.5 yards rushing at minus 114. I understand how good Auburn is at stopping the run, but I also understand how good Petrino is at adjusting to things like that. I mean, we've seen it year in and year out with this guy. He's going to find a way to open up the field for both his running back and his quarterback. It's just what he does. So with that being said, I also took Tailgate Green over 208.5 yards passing. So I've got Arkansas first half ATS. I've got Jaquindon Jackson over 82.5 rushing yards. And then I've got Tailgate Green over 208.5 yards passing. I would give more analysis, guys, but we got to keep this rolling. So tune into the live stream because this game's not till later, and I'll give you the analysis on those two. The other prop that I bet for the day is going to be the TCU quarterback, Josh Hoover, over 308.5 yards passing. I understand that's a very large number. He's hit it every game but once this year, and the one game that he didn't hit it, he had his highest QBR rating. He just didn't need to hit it, right? Mm-hmm. But judging by the spread, and judging by what I know with TCU and SMU, it should be a very close game. And if it's a very close game, I think Hoover gets over that number. Shout out to Moose, because I know you brought that to my attention. I've been betting it, but you brought it to my attention that you were on it, and I decided I wanted to bet it too. So I got Arkansas first half. I got Jaquindon Jackson over 82.5 rushing. I got Tailgate Green over 208.5 passing. I got Josh Hoover over 308.5 passing. And then I'm on Tennessee, boys. I took Tennessee minus 6.5. You should know. All that Oklahoma love is misplaced. You guys are going to get butthurt today. I'm sorry. Vols all the way, baby. So those are the 5 bets that I got. Now let's go, Moose. You got some best bets you want to give, and then do it kind of quick, because then I want everybody in the chat to be able to ask questions. So if you guys have questions about a player, a game, something we didn't talk about, something you want to bet, get it ready for our guy Moose and drop it in the chat.
I mean, let me piggyback off of the Arkansas, just because I do have a slightly similar but different look. And I am focusing on the first half team total over for Arkansas. And I mean, I would lean full game, but first half over at 13.5 is the most intriguing bet on the board here for me. Arkansas has scored 49, 21, and 20 points in the first halves of their games. Auburn has given up 3, 14, and 13 in the first half versus FCS, who gives a shit, Cal, and New Mexico. I'll take my chances that the Arkansas offense that has come out gangbusters in the first 3 games of the year will do so again here. I think the move at quarterback for Auburn is a major difference maker because they did make a change at quarterback. Oh, and guess ghost peppers are spicy. You know, if we're just talking about things that are absolutely obvious in terms of quarterback moves, but I'm pointing out super obvious things. Brown gives Auburn a completely different dimension at quarterback. The ability to pass to their own receivers is huge instead of Peyton Thorne throwing to the wrong team, which, sidebar, did we not know that was going to happen? Like, did we not know Peyton Thorne was going to do that? But anyways, I lean first half Arkansas as a side, but I really like their team total over. Like you said, Petrino has come out and he's done well to make those in-game adjustments. He hasn't even needed to in the first half. He comes out with a game plan. It works. So I like first half team total over 13.5 for Arkansas.
Beautiful. That'll help get to my props also and help my first half. So we're aligned there. What's next? Let's keep it rolling because, like I said, we really do we got 10 minutes.
All right, let me go to another prop here. Let me go to Texas Tech here, and let me talk about Baron Morton. Baron Morton, if I can pronounce it correctly, who is going to be going up against a SMU defense that has looked pretty good in terms of like being able to stop the offenses because of what the offense has done to put them in position that they have to do things where they have to stop them in their own field. Baron Morton has done very, very well this year. If I can pull up the numbers here. I'm sorry, Arizona State. I don't know why I said SMU. Arizona State has looked very good on defense, although they have gotten some really good position on field turnovers. If you remember Wyoming was turning the ball over a lot. And if you remember the last week against Texas State turned the ball over a lot. Morton has gone over 300 yards in all three of his games. Arizona State has allowed about 260 yards per game. And if we're looking at 270 yards for Baron Morton, I'm going to take that, and I'm going to feel fairly confident that Morton can attack a secondary that does have some NFL caliber players, but they don't have NFL caliber players throughout the secondary. They have a couple out there. So I'm going to take my chances against that secondary. I'm going to take Morton passing yards over 270.5 against Arizona State at home, where they just looked very good against North Texas. Muted.
I'm muted. Beautiful. What's next? We're rolling.
All right. Let me go to the last one. I do have a friend that he told me about this play, and unfortunately, I'm not going to take him out here just because I want to get this going. I was looking at two games at the same time. Sig Moose went 1-1 last week. He was on Diego Pavia, but Diego Pavia did his best prison wife impersonation. We were still able to get the team total, but this week I have a very unique bet, something you don't see very often, which is what every girl in college said about Moose's penis. Thankfully, Moose, we have vacuums at the end of each party. For those who don't know, Moose knees, a vacuum is someone that will suck up everything at the end of the party. But watch out, having a kid with a vacuum is not smart because the kids usually come out as trash. Speaking of vacuums, Josh Hoover, SMU has good corners, but bad safeties. Hoover has thrown at least 140-plus yard completion in each game. SMU in 2 games versus FBS opponents allowed passes over 40 yards in both. I moosed Hoover longest completion over 41.5 yards. Best of moose to everyone on this, and nice to moose you again. So there's a little sig moose from me right there. Hoover passing completion over 41.5 yards.
Beautiful. So as you guys start rolling in the chat, give us questions, okay? I've highlighted a couple. If I miss it, I'm sorry. Drop another one because there's a lot. Drop your questions if you want to know. I know we didn't touch on the LSU-UCLA game, so we can maybe really quick hit that. If you have questions, drop it in the chat. I'm going to quickly recap all the bets that have been given out on the show. As you know, I've got to get a large breath to do this because we bring a lot of action to you guys. Stacks. Shout out to my guy, Justin. He started off the top of the show with Florida -6.5. Then Gunz came in. He kicked this thing off hot like he does. Kansas, even money. Michigan +4.5. And then BYU +7. Shout out to Gunz. After that, we went to our guy, Wine Time. He is on West Virginia money line. He's on Buffalo +14. He got Utah at -130. He has the under 36 in the Iowa-Minnesota game. And then he has the under 45.5 in the Cal-Florida State game. Moose, I'm going to let you do yours at the end. Earl, shout out to our guy, Earl Sports Bet. Came in here. He is also on Michigan +5. He is also on Buffalo +14. Buffalo got a lot of love today. I might need to look into that one. And then he has Oklahoma +7. After that, we got our dude Kong, who has been just absolutely rolling and bringing us the money. He came in. He's got Texas minus 44.5. He's got Tennessee on an alt spread minus 13.5 at plus 180. He has the first quarter minus 1.5 at minus 104. He has the first half minus 4.5 at minus 104. He has the full game at minus 7.5. And he also has the team total over 32.5 at minus 115. He is on Miami minus 16.5 and Indiana minus 28.5. His 2-unit parlay for the week, which he has hit 3 shows in a row, is at plus 531. He's got Miami ATS, Texas ATS, and Tennessee ATS.
Uh-oh, we lost Cap.
What?
Cap muted. Oh, you're back. You're good.
I'm muted?
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're
Oh.
fine.
Could everybody in the chat hear me? Let me know if we're
Yeah,
good.
it was just a quick little bit. I thought you went mute. So
Okay, cool. And then my dude Dutch rolled through. He brought us Miami ATS. He's got Georgia Tech plus 10. He's got Vandy plus 20.5. It is plus 18 now. Still likes it. He's got Florida first quarter minus 0.5. He's got Washington first half minus 6.5. I wrote this down because my guy Johnny K dropped it. His best bet for the day is Colorado in the chat. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Then me. I'm on Tennessee. Okay, I got minus 6.5 full game. I got Arkansas first half plus 2.5. I've got Jaquindon Jackson's rushing prop over 82.5. I've got Taylon Green's passing prop over 208.5, and I've got Josh Hoover over 308.5 passing. There we go. Moose, you want to recap yours really quick and then hit the Moose droppings?
sure, I will go through mine. West Virginia -2, Cincinnati -3. First half Arkansas team total over 13.5. First half Georgia Tech at Louisville over 28.5. First half Michigan team total over 9.5. Rutgers plus 3.5. Rutgers with a little money line sprinkle. Oklahoma +7. Oklahoma money line. Iowa -2.5. East Carolina, didn't talk about that one. East Carolina +7.5 at Liberty with a little money line sprinkle. Omarion Hampton from UNC from North Carolina against JMU. Total yards over 119.5. That's a half unit. John Hoover over longest completion over 41.5. That's going to be a full unit. And then Baron Morton passing yards over 270.5. That's going to be a half unit.
Love it. Love it. I'm going through trying to find all the questions. And like I said, guys, I might miss them. And I see things like our guy Mud Dog said, check out the QB for UL Monroe. His name is General Booty. His over 75 passing yards. That's funny. General Booty. Okay, anyways, my dude said, how are we feeling about the South Carolina and LSU games? Okay. I stayed away from both. Moose, did you have anything you wanted to share on those really quick? Because I think we should touch on.
Let me just kind of hit on the LSU game. I mean, UCLA, the number one factor that I think we have to know is how is the offense starting to learn Eric Bieniemy's offensive scheme. As soon as they kind of figure it out, like that offense can start to take off, and we're never really going to know because you don't get the in-depth reporting that you would get at the NFL level. I'm off that game, but I think at some point UCLA is going to start figuring some things out. They have the talent. They have talent over there. Their defense is definitely sus, but the offensive end, they definitely can start putting up points. I am not going to bank on when it happens, but I'll try to bank on as it's happening, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Yeah, this one for me, I stayed off just because. Yeah.
And South Carolina did make a quarterback change because of the injury last week during the LSU game.
Well, Moose, an hour and 45 minutes in. We've got a ton of bets we gave you guys. Everybody in chat, thank you for tuning in every Saturday. I love coming up here and doing this with my guy Moose, Wine Time, the guest, Kong, Dutch, my dude, everyone. I love doing this, man. You guys make it worth it. The members are what keep this channel alive. So thank you for everyone that can become a member. If you're interested in becoming a member, in the description of the video on YouTube, hit the join button and you can become a member. Also, one more thing I got to get out there because this is an awesome promo. I used it myself. Bet Online, they will match you up to $1,000 with promo code PubSportsRadio. And it does not have to be crypto. I'm going to say it again. You put in $1,000, they give you $1,000. Most everywhere you go with that promo, you have to use cryptocurrency. You don't have to with Pub Sports Radio. Put in 1,000, get 1,000. Bet Online, promo code Pub Sports Radio. Tune into the tailgate, right? Or not. This is the tailgate. Tune into the show where we act like we're tailgating right after this, the live bet stream. My guy Moose will be here with me. He's bringing Das Boot. You got it on hand right here?
It's in the cupboard, but I mean, yes, it's in the apartment.
He's bringing the boot out for you guys. If you haven't seen it live, it is fucking awesome.
Halftime. It'll be the halftime show.
Perfect. I'm looking forward to it myself. One more time, thank you guys. Mr. Heat, I've tweeted out the Tennessee and Arkansas way earlier in the week. The next show starts right after. So just in case I don't, Mr. Heat, let me say them for you again. The props that I added. I took Jaquindon Jackson over 82.5. I took Taylon Green over 208.5 passing, and I took Josh Hoover over 308.5 passing, along with Arkansas first half and Tennessee. One last time, man. I love you guys. Saturated. I'm glad Illinois won for you last night. Nebraska covered my first half, so I was just as happy as could be seeing them win for you, man. I love it. I love it, man. And that's it. That's it. Let's tune in. I'm going to get a beer. I'm going to roll a joint, and we're going to tune in and start cashing all these bets. Moose, you got any last words for everyone?
Hey, I mean, we've said it a couple of times. I'll always offer this. I'm never going to be charging this. If you want to see what my cap looks like, if you want to see the madness that is my brain in a middle of a sports cap, just send me your email, DM me. I think I saw Justin you asking. Just if you feel comfortable dropping it into the chat, I'll write it down. I'll add it right now. I do have my Moose Docs, my Moose Drive open on my Google Docs. I just enjoy people being able to see it, and I enjoy people being able to talk with me. So if you have interest in that, please don't hesitate to reach out. I have no issues with showing whatever it is I'm thinking out to the rest of the world.
Beautiful. And on that note, we will see you guys in like 10 minutes.